Hey, did you hear Social Security is about to undergo massive changes in 2025? And some of these updates could directly impact your benefits. Now, I'm not talking about small tweaks, I mean major shifts that could affect how much you receive, how quickly you get your payments, and even whether certain benefits get cut altogether. And here's the kicker: some of these changes are happening within the next 30 to 90 days. But just before we dive into the details, please take 2 seconds to hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game changing video that affects your finances. And I promise you, you'll appreciate it. Now, buckle up and let's plunge straight in. All right. So, what exactly is going on with Social Security and why does it matter so much right now? Well, according to a new government report, Social Security could face serious disruptions starting as early as the first quarter of 2025. And the reason? Deep staffing cuts, and a major restructuring of the Social Security Administration, or as we know them, the SSA. Now, if that sounds familiar, well, it's because there's been talk about reforming Social Security now for years, but this time it's very different. The changes are already in motion, and the way they're planning to do it might leave millions of Americans without timely payments or even critical support. So here's what's happening. So, first off, the staffing cuts. Now, the SSA is planning to eliminate a significant number of positions, claiming that some employees are underperforming or that their roles are now redundant. There's talk of office closures. They're looking to shut down underused Social Security offices to cut costs, which means longer wait times and fewer resources for people that need help. There's also a system overhaul. They want to upgrade the computer systems to make them more efficient, but in the short term, this could mean disruptions and delayed payments. So, why now? Why are these changes happening all of a sudden? Well, it turns out that some of the money saved from these cuts might not actually go back into Social Security. And you're not going to believe where it could end up. And I'll explain that in just a minute. But first, let's break down exactly how this could affect you. So, firstly, your benefits could be delayed. Currently, it takes an average of 291 days to process a Social Security claim. Ouch. That's almost a year. Now, if these staffing cuts happen, that could get even worse. Fewer workers mean longer wait times, and delayed benefits could spell trouble for millions of retirees that rely on that monthly check. Next up, overpayments are being clawed back. Now, this is another major change. So, the SSA is planning to recover overpayments to the tune of $7 billion over the next decade. So, if you were accidentally overpaid, even if it was the government's fault, you could be forced to pay it back. And here's the worst part: there's no guarantee that that money will go back into Social Security. Point number three: the savings could be redirected elsewhere. Now, this is the part that's making a lot of people angry. According to reports, a portion of the money that's saved from staffing costs and overpayment recovery could be redirected to other government programs or even used to reduce the federal deficit. Only 10 to 20% of that money would be reinvested into Social Security itself. But here's where it gets even more controversial. Some officials are floating the idea of using the extra funds to offer a Social Security dividend, essentially giving a portion of the savings back to taxpayers. Well, that sounds good, right? Well, not so fast. There is a major catch, and I'll explain exactly what that is in just a moment. But before we get into that, if this information is helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know. How do you think these changes are? Are they good or bad? I want to hear from you. Now, on to point number 4, changes to the COLA adjustments. Now, this is a big update. The cost of living adjustment, or COLA, is expected to increase by just 2.6% in 2025. And if you didn't know, that's well below the average inflation rate, which means your benefits won't stretch as far as they did last year. On to number 5. There's also talk of raising the full retirement age to 68 or even 70 for future recipients. That means younger workers would have to wait longer to receive full benefits. And of course, the longer you wait, the more money the government saves. So here's the bottom line: the government is trying to cut costs by scaling back Social Security infrastructure and staffing, and they're hoping to redirect those savings into other programs or to the deficit reduction. But the scary part is this: if these changes don't go as planned, the Social Security Trust Fund could face insolvency as early as 2033. And that could mean a 24% cut to monthly benefits. Now, here's the kicker: there's one little loophole that could help you maximize your Social Security benefits. But before these changes hit, but nobody talks about it. And I promise you, I'll break that down in a future video. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss that important video. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the more you know about Social Security, the better prepared you'll be for the future. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to hit that like button so more people can stay informed about these critical changes. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.